Yo, what's poppin'? Today I got some nifty Labrynth replays for you guys. This is more or less just the list I played in the third Eye Cup. Basically, it's just normal ratios on all the Labrynth cards. We're running different dimension ground over dimensional barrier because this actually just hits more decks that are relevant right now. Kashtira is like the only matchup it's not that good into. And I guess the Fusion Lock is kind of better into Branded, but this just kills Snake Eyes, and Barrier does nothing against them. We're running Solemn Strike because it's pretty good. It also stops Ash. And we're also on Shifter here, which is just such a good card. It's so crazy. You can chainlink one Shifter, chainlink two Furniture, and it just turn skips all your opponents. If you're going second, they get turn skip, you set all your stuff, and then you pass back. You are no longer under Shifter, and you got to set up even though you're going second. So you basically just get to go first. And you don't even lose a card in your hand technically because you're going second, so you start with a 5-card hand. So I think that's really cool. All right, let's get straight into the replay. Alrighty, so for the first one, we're going to be playing against Snake Eyes, and obviously our Maxi is not going to resolve, so we're just going to fast forward through this turn. And there's a lot of nice technical play that we did here to actually play around his outs and to win in the grind game, which is something that Labrynth really excels at with all the advantage that they keep recurring. And it's something that Snake Eyes is good at too, but we have tools to stop all of that. So the end board here is just going to be IP plus Amblo Whale plus Princess in the Graveyard, and then one set card. Yeah, and of course they have all the follow-up. So for turn, we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw into a second Welcome Labrynth, and we're going to lead with the Ariana here. And we're going to grab the big welcome, which is the one we're missing, go into battle phase. They don't feel threatened or anything, so we just beat over their IP, which is nice. Let's just set 4 cards, and we're going to flip the rivalry. This locks them into dragons now, which is really nice. That way they can't summon Poplar or Snash or anything, and they're going to search for the Kurikara, which however is a fairy, which is not a dragon, so they can't actually use it here. So we're going to use the Lady Labrynth here. We're going to go ahead and grab us our different dimension ground, which cuts off their recursion. And we're going to just get another card for free here, set it, and pop one of his dragons. And he can't actually use this to revive any of these guys because they're all pyros, and he's locked into dragons under the rivalry. So in the end phase, we bring out the lady. And for turn, we draw Called By. In the draw phase, we're going to go ahead and use the Welcome Labrynth, and they're going to imperm the Lovely. We're just going to use our Lady here to grab a free trap. I'm not sure why they're using Called By on the Ariana. I guess they don't want me to summon another one. Yeah. We'll get an Ice Dragon's Prison. That really hurts their deck as well. And we'll just grab the Chandragleer then instead. So I think their Called By was a bit early here. They could have definitely used it on the Ariana instead. We're going to go Threaten Battle phase. So they use the IP. We use the big welcome in the graveyard. We're just going to bounce it away. And since it has to use itself as link material, it's going to just fizzle. And we're going to use the DDG here. And we're going to actually crash our lady. So what this does is, since we have a second lady, we don't actually lose lady access for the rest of the game, but they're going to lose the Flamberge, and it does not get to float because it has to be sent to the graveyard. If this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you can special summon the guys. And since they don't control monsters and rivalry was in the imperm column, he could have normally brought them back, so we made the decision to use the different dimension ground here to cut him off of his follow-up at the cost of one of our 2 ladies. Now we're going to go poke for a bit of damage, set the Called By, and this also has another added benefit of us clogging up the back row here. So they're going to go for the Snash, for a Poplar, and they can't actually do anything more than this really because of the rivalry, and they're going to go for the Subversion. And what this does is you target a face-up monster in the field and you place it face up in its owner's spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. And this isn't like the Valance cards, the field spells that actually destroy the card in the back row when you push the card back. So he can't actually use this because my back row is completely filled up. So they're going to go battle phase, try to swing over this. We're going to protect it, get our second lady into rotation. We get a pop here. We're going to get rid of the field spell, just reduce the attack. And we're going to make sure to put the Welcome Labrynth back here. And they're just going to go swing into themselves. Subversion is still off. Kurikara is also off unless they don't die by swinging here. So that's why we had to make sure to get rid of the field spell. All right, we get to go first, and our hand is actually pretty nice. However, we're going to have a horrible time this game as our opponent is on some really sacky stuff. We're going to go for the hand grip combo here. I'm going to just pitch the Lovely here. And the big welcome's just going to reborn it. Pretty standard stuff. Bring this back, we're going to hit a card, and we hit a Coup Clock. So we know he's also on Labrynth. Now we have a big welcome here. We have nice engine in rotation. We have a call by of an Ash Blossom, and he normals Fallen of Albaz and fuses off my Lovely. So that was a real jump scare. That made me kind of sad. The Bellion here is going to pitch a Welcome Labrynth. So he's actually just on an Albaz engine in Labrynth. Really depressing. And I'm just going to go battle phase here. And we're going to use the Coup Clock as well as this, because I don't see any sense in keeping the Ash anymore. We're just going to go grab some nice follow-up here. Bring all this stuff back. And we're going to use the Welcome for a Lady. Now this is going to use his Banish up. And he's also just going to have a Bestial here to get rid of our Lovely. So we saved the Lady, but our Lovely is gone forever, which is a large part of our removal. So that's actually kind of an issue here. Draw Shifter way too late. There's already like 20 cards in the graveyard. Well, it's 6, but we can't clear all of these cards, unfortunately. So we're just going to pitch it. They have another Bestial here. Very annoying. We still get to grab another big welcome here off the Ariana. And we're going to attempt to bounce the Mirror Jade because this doesn't trigger its destruction effect. But they do have a big welcome. This gets them their Lovely. This was a misplay from me to actually set this because obviously he was just going to destroy it. I should have set something that had like a graveyard effect or was worthless. And during the end phase, he's going to add an Albaz. So right here, we're going to have to use the Lady to get an impermanent rotation and use the Coup Clock early. This way we have an imperm for the Albaz, so we don't just lose instantly. And we're going to add the Lab for follow-up. Now, unfortunately, he goes into Verte and just makes another Mirror Jade anyways. Just really obnoxious. So we lose a Lady here, and we still have one more, but we've lost a Lady and a Lovely already. But we can get one back through Ariana next turn. And we also see that he has the Ecclesia here. So our next turn is going to hurt quite a bit if we don't get to do something here. So he's going to summon out Ariana here, just as I have. But since I'm a bit quicker than him, I get to commit my Lady to the field already. We're going to go ahead, chain all this stuff up, get rid of his Mirror Jade, get another Imperm. Activate all of this stuff here. We already popped the card as well. And we go into Chaos Angel here to get rid of his Lady. But he's going to be able to protect it, unfortunately, by just bouncing it back to the hand. We're going to swing for some damage. And we know what's in his hand right now. And we're going to set up our last big welcome. We have the Coup Clock back in hand, though, as well. And he just top decks the Ariana. Kind of unfortunate. We do get to imperm it, though. So that's pretty nice. And we get to bring back the Lady with the other effect of Lab. He gets the punishment. For some reason he swings because he didn't read that Chaos Angel gives you battle destruction protection. And Now he uses the Dogmatic of Punishment, targeting the Ariana. So we're going to chain the lady just to get a free trap, and then we're going to use the big welcome to remove the Ariana from the field. He's going to get a trap, but I don't really care about it. Actually, it's a pretty good trap. But by removing this Ariana, there's no longer a target for the punishment. So it doesn't destroy or send a guy. So it just completely fizzles. Our Ariana gets to resolve. We've cleared his IDP. And he sees the writing on the wall. There's a line where I make Muckraker and bring back the Chaos Angel. And then I just banish his lady. And it's just over from here.